We good?
We're good.
We're good. Welcome back to Omni Garage. So this is the last rinseless wash that we bought. This is Feynlab Rinseless version 3. What we did is well, for those who haven't watched the videos, for those who have, you'll understand that you know that this is the last test. We went through Eddie from EC Details. We went through basically his top 5 rinseless washes. The only one we didn't try was the Lama Cosmetica because that leaves a bit of protection behind and that's not something I want to try. But anyway, this is the last one we've got left to try. So it'll be really interesting to see where we think things are at, and we'll be able to work out which one we like the best, where the middle category is, and which one we don't like the most. So let's get stuck in to mixing this bad boy up. How much water's in here?
How much water is in here?
256.
Full bucket, we got about 18 litres, maybe just shy, and then that one there,
Half a bucket.
half. So if we go about 30 mil in our test bucket.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do
70 mil.
is we're going to put 70 mils of the Feynlab in here, and that's what we're going to use to wash the car behind us. And our test here is we're going to put Hero, we're going to do half a dilution in here. So when you're using a rinseless wash product, it's usually dilution of 256:1, so 70 mils. What I really like about this bottle compared to the others that we've tried is that this has actually got a measurement cup attached to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is very similar to the bottle that they sell rags to riches in.
Yeah, a lot of the microfiber washes come like this.
So squeezable bottle.
So we've got ounces on one side and mils on the other side. So we're going to do, what did you say, 70 mil?
Let's do 70 mil on our full bucket. Probably 60 mil actually will be fine because we've gone a little bit shy of where we'd normally
So that's 30.
pull that up to. Got warm water in the buckets again today.
Oh, I love them. I look like I should be sitting on the couch watching a bit of Netflix and eating a bag of chips, hey?
If anyone is wondering what the towel's doing over Glenn's neck, stay around to the end of the video for the legendary Eddie test.
I'm a little embarrassed though. You know what? Coming to your place, I have to remember all the stuff to pack.
Why don't we just leave a white towel here?
We should. We have been using the white towel for the Eddie test, but I had to go into your cabinet and get something that was close to white yellow.
That's one of our coating removal.
So I'm a little embarrassed. It's not going to be quite true representation of the others, but we will do the Eddie test where I dip this in the mud around the car and see how well this microfiber wash cleans this microfiber. So stay around for that because we love doing the Eddie test, which is something we just nicknamed.
I can tell straight away that smells really nice as well.
This is the best smelling one out of the 4, well 5 out of the 4 that I've tried.
It's quite strong.
This is almost like, it's got like a tone of, I'm making this up, okay?
Yeah.
So it's like a tone of pineapple with like men's cologne.
Okay, pineapple men's cologne. Let's have a sniff.
Well, the camera always goes
first.
So get your manners.
Yep.
So have a smell of that. Oh, yep. And then you have a smell.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
This is my favorite smelling. And it sticks around. So I've smelled it in the bucket. When I'm washing the car down, it hangs around. I have used a little bit of this. One thing I've noticed is that this is quite milky and it looks almost like we've got some separation of the product in the water. So can you see, Glenn's got soap from last cleaning the other day, which is
so
the stuff down here.
It's not all.
But can you see this white stuff here? It's almost like, I don't know, like, never mind, but it looks a bit like egg yolk in here and it hasn't mixed. You're cracking up, eh? Anyway, I know that when I put our sponges in here and I mix it up, it goes into solution really easily, but yes, it does look a little milky and a little bit, how you doing? So we are a real fan of using the Rag Company sponges. This is how we prefer to clean the vehicle. You can use a double flip. I do know Eddie quite likes a double flip. Or you can use a whole bunch of microfibers and you put them in, it's kind of like a one-use microfiber clean. But this is how we like to do it, and this is what we've used. This is what we've used for the rest of the testing, so that's is a good indication of how slick it is compared to some of the other products. But I'm going to mix that up because you keep giggling about it.
Well, no, what I'm giggling about is the one on the right there is the newer sponge.
Oh, yeah.
The one on the left.
Yeah, but this is your one because you're slightly anemic.
That showed up like that. I've got no idea the inconsistency from Rag Company on that one there, but...
So you can see now that it mixes in really well. It is a little foamy, but man, I really like this. One thing I've noticed that you're not going to be able to tell on camera is that when you put your hands in the bucket here, it leaves behind such a nice residue, like a real slick feeling. And this is something that I haven't experienced with the other ones. It leaves like a film. It's almost like you've got moisturizer on your hands, which is a little bit of an indication about how slick this is going to be on the paint. I know that this is really slick to work with, and so I get a feel from that just by using the product on my hands.
And what are we going to put as our test?
Our test subject, we'll just use Hero because that's what we used last time. This product is also really slick. And how much What do you reckon?
Oh, look, we don't have a huge amount in there. Probably 25 mil is enough.
25 mil?
Yeah.
Which is probably roughly about half of what I put in there.
It's really milky, that product, eh?
Yeah, and it smells like kiwi berry. It smells like, but with an aftertaste of like milk. I don't really like it. We did make a full video on this product in the last rinseless wash video, so go back and check that out. You'll be able to get our thoughts. And we're also going to use this as a bit of a compare because we think that this is pretty good. So we're going to use this to compare how well we think that one is. Well, for you, this will be your first attempt of using the Feynlab one. I've used it a couple of times, but
yeah, I'm looking forward.
Interesting to see what you think.
You've been talking this up for a little while, so.
And again, that does have a milky thing, but there's no separation with this one compared to the Feynlab. So we now know that our bucket is diluted at 256:1, so we like to pre-spray the vehicle down. So instead of then working out the 256 dilution in this, just dunk it straight in the bucket and fill it up. And this is the perfect dilution to then come along and pre-spray the vehicle. This car is filthy. It hasn't been cleaned for, I don't know, maybe a month. We've had some real bad weather over the last week, so Glenn will walk around and show the back and show them the real dirt.
A lot of dirt as we come down on this door here. Look at it.
Now, people would start to argue that when you get your car to a certain level of dirtiness, that maybe it's time to do a pressure washer, a real soap 2-bucket method. I don't know. I've seen the rag company wash some pretty dirty cars with rinseless washing, and they seem to think that there's not really much of an issue. But I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to wash this car any more dirtier than this before I would then give it a real good rinse down with the pressure washer. But I mean, when you come around to the back, like there's some real dirt on there.
Yeah, it's fairly dirty around here. Look at it. I mean, it's pollen season as well here.
Look down there. Look at that. So people go, "Oh, your car's not that dirty."
Yeah, it is. Pretty.
Should we work on the back here, and I'll pre-soak this down, and we'll wash this section, and then we can just
great idea.
Crack on.
Let's do it.
Because this is the dirtiest part. So why I think it's important to pre-soak your vehicle down is that it will start to encapsulate the dirt. It'll start to encapsulate those dirt particles and start to pull them off the surface, so that when I come along with my sponge to wipe off, we should just be able to take them off really nice and easily. And it's hopefully going to reduce the ability of the marring and scratching that will occur on the paint. You want to leave your sponge to the point where it's just kind of dripping, a few drips, and that is ready to come in here and wipe along the surface.
Where would you kind of put slickness of this versus some of the other ones?
I reckon this is one of the slickest we've used. The slickness is right up there, which is important because we don't want to be inducing any marring and scratching. Then we've got all our dirt in here. You can't see because it's a black sponge, but the idea is that hopefully that this rinseless wash will pull the dirt and grime out of the sponge and put it in the bucket and put it to the bottom, leaving us with a nice clean sponge to then hit the next part of the car.
I think when your car's this dirty, you definitely want to revisit that bucket more often than not.
Yeah, you kind of want to be doing smaller areas rather than big areas. And as always, you know, you want to be doing this in, you know, not in direct sunlight. You want to be doing this in the shade, hopefully in a cool temperature.
All right, so my initial impressions of this is it is really slick. Like, it is right up there, and I feel like it's leaving a bit of a film on my hand as well, which is interesting. This product shouldn't leave anything behind, but
it will leave a little bit of protection behind on the car.
So maybe
it'll be leaving something slightly behind. This will be removed with like an IPA spray down or something like that, or a bit of you know, prep spray, panel prep, whatever. So yeah, it's leaving a little bit behind, and you can feel that on your hands and your fingers, and that's probably what's helping add to slickness.
Is it advertised as leaving, like, is it a polymer type protection, or
yeah,
like,
it'll be polymer based because it's milky. So all the ones that are milkier are more of a polymer based rinseless wash.
I mean, I'm enjoying it because it doesn't feel like it's drying out my hands at all. It's slick on the hand in the bucket, it's slick on the paint.
And part of that, like leaving that little bit of protection behind, will be adding to the slickness that you're feeling.
Correct.
But what we learned last time is that when you're using a product, you go, oh yeah, that feels slick. But how does that feel compared to the other products? So what Glenn has done is he's got Hero in the spray bottle, and we're going to do 50-50. So we're going to do half Hero, and the other side, on the far side there of the hood, we're going to put the Feynlab, and we're going to rub the sponges up and down. You saw this on the last rinseless wash video, just to get a real feel for the the sense of how slick this is.
Yeah, it's not scientific at all, but I feel like it gets us a good feel for, you know, are they on par or are we night and day different here? So this is Hero applied to this side of the car.
Because what we've found is that all these rinseless washers do a really fantastic job of cleaning. There's no problem about that. They all smell pretty reasonable. You know, they have their own little, you know, pros and cons to that, and that's also very subjective on what kind of smell you like. But I think what you're going to notice is how slick this is to the paint. How well does this feel in your hand? Because that's the user experience part. That's the part that's going to make you enjoy the product or not. And so I think it's important to have a real slick one. Also, because it helps to, you know, glide the sponge across and hopefully eliminate some of that marring and scratching.
It's a very pleasant scent. I mean, I enjoy the scent of both of these products. I feel like the Feynlab one is stronger. Like it just lingers around more.
It's a unique smell. Everyone's got a citrus smell. Everyone's got like a berry scented product. Everyone likes the cherry scent that these soaps are coming out. But I reckon that the Feynlab rinseless wash is a real distinctive masculine type smell.
Alrighty, let's give this a go. So we have
2 sponges. So on the
Feynlab on the left.
Well, yeah,
Hero
your
on the
left. The fuller bucket's the Feynlab, and the lesser bucket is the Hero, and you've got that matched up on the panel there, and swipe away, see what you think.
We should have done this blind. You should have put them on here and give me 2 sponges and just gone, which do you think?
Well, do that to me next then.
It's funny, right? Because it's so close. I feel like they're on par with the slickness. Like they are almost indistinguishable. I need to do another little section. I need to leave a little bit there for you as well. You really do have to put your hands. Yeah, it's indistinguishable. What's interesting though, come over here and have a look at how this is leaving the paint. So what I find is,
one's really good at wetting, eh?
yeah, like if I'm doing this, look at the Feynlab.
Feynlab looks like it has this sort of more sheeting sort of look, and you can see it sheeting away, whereas the Hero seems to make more sort of water droplet mess. I don't know.
I mean, look at it. If I wipe here, new spot, we end up with all of these, you know, webbing, water spotting. Over this side, if I do the same thing,
we end up with a sheet.
we end up with a,
Sheeting sort of,
effect. I don't know.
wetting. It's got a different wetting ability.
Yeah, I don't know what's better there. It's interesting because I actually find on this product, maybe when you get to that kind of second wipe coming along the top of it, it does feel slicker. Whereas if I went back here, and I mean, that could be just due to what's been left on the surface. I don't know. That's really interesting. I don't know which is better, and I don't know what's causing that. But we found that when we were working on this side of the car, and yeah.
The wetting ability of these 2 products are pretty decent. Like, it leaves the surface wet.
Do you want to play?
Yeah, go on.
Have a go.
I've already done this. I did it with all of them. And I got to a point where these are all so good. Like, and we talk about this so much. Like, this is top 5. This is Eddie Cologne's top 5 for a reason, because they're all fantastic. You know, you would expect them to be good, and you'd probably struggle to work out the difference. I mean, you rub half the product off, but yeah, so
Well, you've got a bit of a section at the top here, untouched. Just that sheeting is really interesting.
I do think that Feynlab has got a slight edge, and that could change day on day. I do. I think it's just a little bit slicker. I mean, but unless you've got these products side by side on a panel, you ain't got no idea anyway.
I think we've got no choice but to jump to the Eddie test.
Jump to the Eddie test and see how good it is at pulling the dirt out of the microfiber.
Yeah.
I do. I really do think that it's slightly slicker. I think it's slightly slicker. I think it has a slightly better scent. Yeah, I think so. Let's see how good it is at cleaning that microfiber towel. All right, so we've just been around the whole car and we've given it a clean and we've dried it. We've dried it using Amplify, which is a Armour detail supply product that we're just trialing out. I asked Eddie the other day about why he thought Hero was better than Feynlab. And what he said is that The difference between the two products came down to the fact that if Hero was to dry on the paint versus Feynlab, Feynlab would leave a lot more polymer spots that were harder to remove and more smearier to remove than Hero. So what we mean by that is that we've sprayed this onto the surface, we've let it sit, we've let it dry. It's been on here for probably 20 minutes or so, so it's not completely dry. But what you can see is that most rinseless washes will leave behind these polymer spots, which are like these little lines, these little dust spots, and they look like water spots. They look really gnarly. They look like, oh man, I've just absolutely destroyed my paint. How do I get this off? These should rub out relatively easy. He said that Hero rubs out way easier than Feynlab, and so we're going to do this to see. I probably agree with him. He would have tried this out in the sun. He would have let it bake in there for 24 hours if he probably could, to then prove to see how hard it is to remove. But I think if you do panel by panel in a nice shaded area, these should remove out pretty easily. And that's not really a contestant for us. We don't really care whether or not it dries on there because we're not going to do that. He's pushed it well beyond its probably use case situation just to give you the real feedback on that product. But I think if you use it properly, it should be all right. And I think this will come out pretty easily. But that was his difference, and that's why Hero was #1 compared to Feynlab. Both products are really slick, both products feel really nice, both products clean really well, but that was the difference that he said to me, and that's why that made #1. So we have our drying aid on here, and the idea is that hopefully these spots will just rub out. And I think you could agree with me that on that first wipe, they've come out pretty easy. And so don't freak out if you've got them on your paint. They should come out pretty easily. It's not water spots like we're used to. And in fact, what happens is these rinseless washes, they actually encapsulate the minerals from your water. They don't prevent water spots, they just encapsulate them. They hold them suspended in the solution so that they don't generate water spots later down the track. And I think that's come out pretty easily. So I'm not too concerned about that. If you use this product correctly, then you should have no problems there. Alright, so this is the part everyone's been waiting to see, is the eddy test. How well does our rinseless wash clean our microfibers? So this is the dirty bucket of water that we've used to clean the whole car in. This is the rinseless wash one. Give this a wet and then we'll wipe it in the dirty mudguard and get some dirt on there and see how well it cleans out. I'm sorry this isn't the white microfiber like all the others. People are going to go, oh, you've changed it, all different results, all this cool weird science. That's a whole heap of bullcrap anyway, but
you know what we need? We need a custom white microfiber towel.
That's got the Eddie test written on it?
With the Eddie test on it, or even Eddie's face on it.
What do you reckon, Eddie? You reckon that's a great idea, or nah, forget about that one?
We can put his logo on there.
This is all subjective, right? People have been blowing up in the comments, oh, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this way, this is better, this is worse. Come on, man. Like, this is all just subjective.
Oh, okay, you got that a bit dirty.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to go again. Oh, yeah, I've really got it good. What do you reckon, sir?
Yeah, I think the yellow works quite good.
Yellow works quite well?
Yeah.
Sort of like acts as a high vis of how dirty it is, right?
Yeah.
There's a bit on this side as well.
Yeah, okay, a little bit.
So let's just bung that in there. Now you would typically just put your microfiber towel in there, you'd give it a couple of little rinses and then you'd go again. So let's just see how it goes. Is that better or worse, different to the other couple of times? I'm sure someone will tell me.
That's got to be the clean side. Has to be the clean side.
You reckon that's the clean side?
It's got to be the clean side.
Or do you reckon that was the clean side?
Oh, not bad.
Magic!
That did not spend long in the bucket either. How good is that?
So that just goes to show that this rinseless wash is extremely good at pulling the dirt and grime out of your sponge, out of your microfiber towel, out of your wash media, pulling it into the bucket, giving you a nice clean surface to go and then hit the next panel. So all in all, this has done a really fantastic job. So you can be the judge of that. I can tell you now, over the last couple that we've tried, they've all cleaned the microfiber towel just as good as each other. It's really hard to sort of determine the difference between the two, but sweet as. So all in all, where do we stand? Well, this product smells fantastic. It's one of the best smelling, I reckon. What I really like about the bottle is that it's got your measuring cup already on there, easy as for your dilutions. How slick this is? Well, it's probably just as slick as Hero was. I think if I could convince myself, it's probably got a slight edge. That is all very subjective. How well did it do at cleaning the panel? Well, you saw how dirty the car was, and you can see how nice and clean it is now. So I think it's cleaned the car just as good as the others. And how well did it do the eddy test? Well, we just saw that it cleaned the microfiber fantastically. So I think for me that this product has got a slight edge over Hero, just based on those few things that you saw. I think you can't go wrong with either of these products. This product would be probably, if you could have a tie first place, we've got a tie first place, but I think we've got a 1 and I think we've just got a 2. I explained the reasons why Eddie thought that this was number 1, and that's due to the polymer spots and the streaking that this product left behind. But I think you cannot go wrong with either of these, and for me, this is the winner, and this is the one that we will continue to use. If you're interested in seeing how these worked out across the other couple of videos and how the other ones compared up to these, go back, check that out, subscribe to the channel so you get notified of more content coming out like this. But thanks for watching, and Eddie, I've really enjoyed this journey with you. You've given us lots of information. Keep doing rad things, man.